In this video, we're going to be repairing my frame and the subframe of my Yamaha TW200. If you've been watching a few of my videos, I think you get the gist of how I ride my bike and how much I crash. But I snapped the subframe, and actually during the stream I discovered that I actually broke the frame as well.
It's a little bit worse than I thought. Oh my god, dude. Look at that. That's probably from the last video.
Alright everybody, today we are going to be fixing this broken frame here. So I originally found that my subframe was destroyed for the most part, and then I took the plastics off during the stream, and then I found that my whole frame was absolutely messed up. So this might sound very stupid, but it worked for me. Is that I discovered that a thing of chapstick fits perfectly inside of the frame. So I took the chapstick to Tractor Supply, and then I discovered that the chapstick is the same diameter as 5/8 round steel, so I bought it. I got some 5/8 steel here. I'm going to slip it in between the frame. I'm going to use this as kind of like a dowel in a way. But first things first, I got to take all that crap out of there. So I knew I was going to be doing some welding, so I took the plastics off, and then I was going to work on the fuel tank, get that off next. But I want to take the air box out so I don't melt anything. Come on. Turn that off. So the next thing I did was I took the battery out, and then I disconnected all the connections. Okay, now I might have to disconnect all of this. So keep in mind, I'm just a dumb kid. I'm not a professional at what I'm doing here. So if you see something that doesn't look right, it's because I'm not right in the head. But yeah, I'm just disconnecting all of this. Battery goes to the main fuses here. I'm gonna unconnect these. I don't think I really have to disconnect this. I'm just going to anyways. Positive is going to the bottom, so I'll have to remember that one. Should be able to. There we go. We'll clean that up too, for sure. This is gonna be a pain. Huge pain. I'm just gonna reconnect the positive to the bottom so I don't forget where it goes. I mean, all these little connectors are different for the most part, so it's not like they're all the same. So this gives me a good chance to clean this area up pretty good. Rectifier's coming out. That is a 10 mil. I got a 10 mil one hand and 8 mil in the other. Just kind of going at it. Disconnect that guy. Okay. Let's try to get this out of here. Man, it sure is dirty. My handy dandy 10 and 8 mil set up here. I'm just gonna start just taking shit apart. Okay, there we go. Let's take that bolt out. That's probably looks like it's holding us up. Yeah, I just want to do a good job with the weld, so I want to take the air box apart, because I don't want to do this a second time. Do it right the first time around. Those words usually never come out of my mouth when I'm working out here. Yeah, I probably should have sprayed this thing down before I worked on it, but a little dirt won't hurt on the guy. There we go. Got all that out of there, for this side at least. I'm just taking off all the mounting bolts. I'm going to disconnect the boot on the back side of the carb. Maybe that'll give me a little bit of play. It's just about disconnected. Yeah, it's disconnected. Yeah, I know the milk crate is pretty ugly on the KLX, but it is my grocery gator, and if I need to run to town for something, it is really nice to have. Okay, now I figured out how to get this thing out for the most part. I got this side out. I just had to shimmy it out. But now to get the box out, I'm gonna have to take off the rear wheel.
Why do you keep dropping things?
Yeah, it's just the usual.
That was quick.
Yeah, I told you it wouldn't be hard. There we go.
You know how when my two new
Yeah.
remember when my two new friends were here?
That is one air box.
Fossil that we found.
Yep. Okay, for the air box, you actually do not have to remove these screws. So I'm gonna put them back in now. But you do have to loosen up your exhaust and take off your rear wheel. Take out the air box. You just have to shimmy all the little panels off, basically. Okay, I got that air box out. It was annoying. I had to disconnect basically all of the electronic components, take the battery tray out and stuff. But yeah, you actually do not have to remove this panel here to get inside of it. You just have to loosen up your exhaust a bit, just enough for you to get a little bit of play, and then take off the rear wheel and just shimmy it out of there. But all right, let's do some welding now. I had to send a neighbor kid home because I told him that it's about to get very loud and dangerous here, so I can't have you playing around while I'm working around here. So I told him to come back in like an hour or two. He's like, but why? It's like, you'll hear me in a minute. So I drilled 2 holes opposite of the broken part of the frame, just so I could spot weld that little dowel in place. So I cut about 1.5 inches off of the 5/8 steel with my angle grinder, and I'm going to use those as the dowels to support the frame when I weld. Okay, made some cuts, a little warm still, but I'm going to sandwich that in there, slip the frame over it, weld it. And those 2 holes I did, I'm going to tack weld the little dowel thingy, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to tack weld that in place. This kid needs to shut up. Uh-oh. Nope, not done. I'm gonna race you. I'm gonna race you down the hill. You gotta line up next to me. We're gonna race pink slip for pink slip. Okay, if I beat you to that sign, I get your bike. Nice. After stealing the kid's bike, it was time to get back to work now. So the next day I got lost going to Harbor Freight in town, but I somehow ended up out here. I don't know how that happened, but I got what I needed at Harbor Freight, and then it was time to get back to working on the old T-dub again. So I bought this little bench grinder from Harbor Freight, and I absolutely love this little thing. It's done a lot of work for me in this video. So using the Dremel, I grinded out the inside of the frame, and then I smoothed it out so that little steel dowel I made can fit in there a lot better. Okay, after doing a little work with that bench grinder, pretty happy with that. And this one too should be able to, might have to Dremel it down a little bit more on the inside. Should be able to get it though. Okay, let's put that little dowel, that's what I'm going to call it. Put that in there. Come on. I have to hammer down a little bit. Slip it in. Slip it in. Come on. There we go. Woo! There we go. I know this is asking for a lot, but if I could get sponsored by Harbor Freight. So the welder I'm running is the Go Plus little flux core wire welder. So basically you don't need gas for this welder, which is really nice. Well, not the best looking thing I've ever made. This one over here looks pretty good. But that one's pretty easy to do. But I gotta run to town. I ran out of wire. Back to Harbor Freight it is. And just like that, I was back on the Harbor Freight mobile. After my Harbor Freight trip, I was just in the zone. I became a machine at that point. I was just doing welds after welds, and it felt pretty good. But yeah, I probably did about 10 welds or so, and yeah, it turned out really good. I like the little dowel system, and it turned out great. So I still got a little bit of work to do, but basically all the hard stuff is done. So I still got to put the air box, of course, in, and all electrical components. But I want to run to town and get some better paint, because I just threw some Rust-Oleum down for now.
Okay, I think I'm all done. So went over with the grinder a little bit and kind of just smoothed it out. A little ugly. I might have to take that out, but just welded a little nut in place for now. Let's see if that works or not. All right.
So that's going to be it for this first part of the video. I didn't want this video being too long, but I'm basically done with all of the welding so far, and I really like how it turned out. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments section, and if you have any questions of what I did too, let me know in the comments section or my Facebook group or anything like that. But there will be a part 2 to this video where I put the airbox and all the electronics together, but y'all have a good one now.